This is it. You only have one chance. You only have 12 hours to listen to this podcast before it disappears forever and passes on into the next life. This special and tricky episode of Club Flashpoint is as ethereal, is as fleeting as life itself. Because we get to experience what it's like to step beyond. In this episode of Club Flashpoint, what's up, everybody? It's me, Dale Flashpoint, and I'm joined by our favorite also hosts. We don't co-host around here; we just also host. We got Faden Cross, the one and only editor and Grand Chief.
Hello, hi, editor and Grand Chief. Also, no, you don't disappear after 12 hours.
Well, hush. Shh. That's we don't. Yes, you do. Shh. That's for later. We also have Uncle.
Yep, I'm to Faden's right, and I am here with you today.
And to Faden's rear, we have Max.
Yep, I'm also here.
Max covering my rear.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I got your front.
Thank you. That's a nice compliment. You know what, Max? Thank you.
Yep.
You might notice we sound a little different this month. We are remote recording because life just got in the way, and sometimes it does. But we still wanted to put out an episode for you, so we made something happen.
We are ghosts in the machine, linked through the networks of our phones.
Oh, I like that. That's exactly what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we are currently spiritually bouncing back and forth between signal lines so that we can present to you yet another episode of the monthly Club Flashpoint. It's like a video game book club. We play a game, we talk about it, we think about it, we feel about it. And this month's game was Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. But before we talk about the main game, we like to talk about other games we played because, as we always say, there's too many games.
We always say that.
Yep.
Well, I always say that. I don't know about everyone else.
No, I always say that too.
Our Grand Chief always says that.
Yeah, our Grand Chief does say that.
I do. I mean, there's just too many games. I played a game.
You did?
You did?
I don't
Yeah.
believe you. I think you have
Well,
to tell us about it.
So, the topic of RPGs have been floating around. People have been talking about some really good ones, and I figured I'd get in on the fun. Get in on the current trend that everyone's been talking about. I played Skies of Arcadia for the Dreamcast. And boy, oh boy, it's great to finally play a game that has mature themes for adults.
Yeah.
I'm not. There's no sarcasm in that. I don't think.
No,
What is this game?
Full earnest honesty.
Yeah, so Skies of Arcadia, first of all, what you need to know is the cover has the most thruple energy out there. It's kind of amazing. I was genuinely surprised to see Fina, Vice, and Aika like holding hands. Just great. But what Skies of Arcadia is a RPG that's set in the world of Arcadia. This world is filled with sky islands only. And
Skylands.
You are Skylands. You are flying around on an airship, acting like a sky pirate. Not acting. You are playing a sky pirate.
Skyrit.
You are a Skyrit.
Skyrit flying amongst the Skylands.
Yeah, Skyrit flying amongst the Skylands, and your Scout.
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Which is, of course,
And
your
you-
Sky Goat.
Right, of
Yep.
course. Not Sky Boat, but your Sky Goat.
Sky Goat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you fight the Valuan Empire as they try to take over the world. And they're doing this by reviving these ancient weapons that are like coming back to life, and they're basically just, what if there's the Neon Genesis, like angels, sorry. What if they were just, alien angels, basically. And you got to stop them. They're doing bad things. This is just like a classic RPG, just in the truest sense of the word. Of you're taking turns, you're using magic attacks, your speed determines how well you can attack first, and you're doing skill combos. One of my favorite being is everyone's focusing as Vice, the main character, does this ultimate Pirate's Wrath move.
Wow.
Yeah, I buff him up, give him some magical spells to increase his attack, and then I just do a lot of damage.
Nice.
Now, I have a question. So the world exists in like a sky island area.
Yep.
Is there
Skyland.
Is there an area below the Skylands, or is it
Oh.
just?
Yeah, so there is an area below, and that's the old world. Yeah, it's a place of like intense air pressure. You basically need to go submarine mode in order to go down there.
I
A thing I like
see.
about this game is they're constantly giving you new ships in the sense of, oh, it feels like, all right, this is the ship I'm going to use for the rest of the game. Oh, something happened to that ship. Okay, this is the ship I'm going to use for the rest of the game. Nope. And
Your
they're
ship
also
is constantly breaking? Or
No,
just
it's constantly
something
changing.
happens to it?
Yeah, something happens to them. That's something about the game I really like is there's constantly party changing going on too. You get a whole bunch of party members, but most of the time they only stay for a little bit and then they leave because they
Oh.
kind of do their thing and kind
They
of
got life going on.
They got life going on. Drachma wants to hunt down the whale that killed his crew and son.
And when you do that, he's like, cool, thanks, bye.
It's more like you keep doing the Vice Sky and not Vice Sky. No, Vice, Fina and Aika are like not JRPGs, tabletop RPG characters where they're constantly just focusing on their own goals and ignoring the one party member saying, "Hey, I want to go do this."
I see,
And-
I see.
Drachma finally gets fed up with that and just says, "Nah, I'm leaving your asses. Walk."
He
I
says
love that
walk.
name, Drachma.
Drachma, it's good. Good name. He's a grumpy old man. Who has a giant fist that he fights with. It's a metal fist because he lost his arm. Or you have Glider, whose entire goal is to be free and keep finding treasures in the sky, and to run away from the dastardly Clara, his paramour that's constantly chasing his ass.
Oh.
Yeah,
So, Glider wants to be free.
Glider wants to be free and not to be held down by any woman. He wants a woman in every port, not the one woman that's constantly chasing him in her pirate ship, and her entire crew is to keep finding Glider.
Wow.
Just an entire crew to find a man.
I can fix her.
So, here's my question. We're talking
Of course.
Sky Pirate Adventure.
Yeah.
I'm looking through pictures of this game. There's got to be a little critter of some kind. Are there little critters? Is there like a little pet for the ship? There's got to be.
So
A little
Cupel-
guy? A little weird guy?
Yeah, there's a Cupel, which is in Fina's like wrist bracelet. It's like a metallic weird dude.
Your pet is a bracelet?
Well, a pet is a bracelet that also can turn into weapons.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh,
Weapon
now
pet
cool.
bracelet.
It also
Like
kind of
Digimon.
reminds me of.
Oh, is it that weird like little beluga whale looking thing?
Yeah, it's like a weird little like circle guy.
It's a little,
With a little
circle
tail.
guy. Yeah.
Little
Oh,
circle
yeah.
guy with
He's
a
cute.
little
Like
hook
his-
tail.
That's
his
a guy,
mouth
all
is
right.
his whole face.
Yeah, his mouth is his whole face. Kind of opens up like a fucking almost South Park or Muppet-like character
Love it, love it.
to give some curse references. Couple also has this really archaic and completely hidden evolution mechanic where you're feeding Couple like fucking just shit like
Ooh.
So moonstones that you find all around the world, and depending on what moonstones you give it and when you give it like the special like upgrade evolution moonstone, it will turn into different things, and there is a optimal way to get the ultimate weapon. And I did not do any of that because it's not needed. That's what I like about this game too. That not needed.
That not
Also,
needed.
Its magic system really nice. I really like its magic system. So characters, when they cast a magical spell, it always costs 1 MP, 1 magic point, no matter the spell.
That's it?
Yep.
So you can cast like level 1 spark for 1 magic point, or you could cast level 666 demon spawn hellfire Beelzebub's wrath for 1 magic point.
Yeah.
Nice.
But they require spirit points, which you get in the battle.
Oh, demon's gonna take your whole spirit points. I tell you right now, Beelzebub's wrath.
There's not really demons in this game.
But the spell in my example would definitely drain your spirit points.
Sure. But the thing about this game, it's mostly just it's nice to play a game that's you're just resisting an empire. You're just taking on an empire head on and kicking their asses.
Nice.
That's always nice. That's a heartwarming tale in times.
A good
like
guy's
this.
win story.
Yeah, a real good guy's win story. Now, there is also a ship combat, which I think is really neat. The game looks beautiful, by the way. It is super pretty. I love its skyboxes. I love its locations. But the ship battles are a lot of fun because you have to plan on when you're firing your cannons and make sure you're lined up right. Or am I storing enough spirit points so I can launch my moonstone cannon and basically kill the enemy in one shot? And you're constantly having to make these decisions, and each kind of battle is a puzzle. And I just really like that. I don't know why more games don't have mass ship combat via turn-based that much, but maybe I just haven't been playing them.
I agree. I think there should be more boat combat games.
Yeah. What was that Assassin's Creed? Black Flag.
There's Black Flag, but even
Yep.
before that,
You mean Skull and
The
Bones?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
For the Xbox, like the 2003 game or whatever the fuck it was.
Yep, where you got to be on a boat. And
Actually had pretty decent, boat combat for that generation of games. You could steal other boats, completely ignore the main mission, and just spend hours and hours and hours stealing bigger and bigger boats, and just and end up with a fucking man of war at the very beginning of the game. Essentially,
I couldn't tell you what the second story mission is, because I think after the first they just let you do whatever you want, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna go grab boats.
Yep. Pirate time.
Is it like that?
It's not like that, since it's it's very story gated, like on what you get.
Yeah.
Like, you won't be able to get the engine to go really high until you beat the blue moon, or until you get the blue moon crystal. Also, you're getting all these different crystals from different. This land has 6 moons, which are all different colors, and that gives the nations their powers.
Powerful moons, you say? I like the sound of that.
I love powerful moons.
Yeah.
Blue moon.
That's
you
one way.
saw me standing alone.
That's one way I've always felt our planet got kind of. We got a short end of the stick as far as planetary bodies go, where we have one moon. We got one moon, man, and it's white. Like, come on, man.
It's not cool.
Give me another moon.
It would make
tidal forces be what they may. Give me another moon. Give me 3 moons. That'll balance it.
Whoa.
Give me 3 suns.
Yeah. Let's just dump a whole bunch of stuff in the system and see what happens.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
Yeah.
It'll work itself out.
Yeah, that's kind of Arcadia. Good music too. Love excellent music. One of my favorite things is the boss music will change depending on how well you're doing.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, that's good.
That's really good.
Dynamic music, it's a big plus.
I love dynamic music. I don't know. Dreamcast was cooking. I'm gonna check out more Dreamcast games.
Hell yeah.
Well, what about you, Max? Since you said hell yeah, I'm gonna turn it around on you.
I also played another game this month.
Whoa.
Yep, it's true. It's a small little game called Monster Hunter Wilds.
The Monster Hunter Wild check-in corner has arrived. Play the theme music.
Yep. Pretty fantastic. Now you may ask, how could I keep playing this game that I've already done everything in? Well, the good news is that the whole game's not out yet. I get to be drip-fed content at a very slow rate, which makes me want to play the game less and less.
Games as a service.
Wow.
It's so enjoyable. But I do get some good tidbits of content every once in a while, and most recently we got a large enough content dump where they added arch-tempered monsters in the game. It's not just a monster. It's not tempered. It's arch-tempered.
It's arch-tempered.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means they have more hit points and they deal more damage.
Oh.
Just like tempered, but because they're arch, their attacks are different too. So, and they're modified.
That's
so
good.
that at least is enough content for me to say it was a good content patch. They released Arch-Tempered Ray Dow, who is a giant flying wyvern, and he's got these weird horn antennas that go out horizontal to his head instead of like forward or up or anything. They go straight up horizontal. And his whole thing is he can get struck by lightning because of crystals he gathers on his wings, and he becomes a conduit. The lightning strikes him, and then he can move his horns directly in front of him to make kind of like a Gauss cannon, and he shoots that lightning at you when he's done charging it up.
Pew!
Yeah, basically pew. So I spent a long... Yeah, and it is a difficult hunt. It took me a couple tries to kill him the first time, and the more interesting thing they're doing this time in Monster Hunter, because it's more to that drip-fed schedule of content, they changed arena quests in this game where there's like a special challenge which is up for 4 weeks at a time, where they say, here's a really tough hunt. Try to beat it in under X amount of minutes, and we'll give you a super prize, a little trinket to put on the end of your weapon to prove to your other hunters that you are good at the game.
Cosmetics.
And so if you were able to hunt Arch-Tempered Ray Dow in under 13 minutes, you get a nice shiny bauble that has particle effects too, which is pretty cool
huge.
when you have particle effects on stuff. So yeah, I played a bunch more Monster Hunter Wilds, and now I am waiting for more content, and I'm so happy about that.
Okay, so is there what? Okay, I have a question about Monster Hunter Wilds.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the worst monster?
Ooh, the worst monster. Okay. Honestly, all the new monsters they added are really enjoyable to hunt. I think the only monster I would say would be a bad monster is there's a monster called Jin Dahad. And the only reason I don't like him is because he is a much longer hunt because he's a set piece hunt. He's really, really big. And you fall, like, you'll do enough damage to him, and he'll be like, "Oh, I took too much damage. Time to transition to the next area." But it's like it's a straight path. He's exclusive to one area. You can't find him out in the wild, and whatever. Granted, the set piece is really cool, but the issue with Monster Hunter and the community and stuff is like he's not an efficient monster to hunt. So he's actually one of the least efficient monsters to hunt. So the reward to time length is not high. And when you play as much Monster Hunter as I do, you want to be efficient. And just because he's not efficient, I don't like him as much. But he is a really cool monster, and he was fun to fight the first 13 times. I wouldn't recommend doing it a 14th time. But no,
it sounds like you're straining at the edges of how much you can keep playing this game, maybe?
Yes, that is for sure. I've hit Hunter Rank 300. I have hunted all the monsters. If you've played Monster Hunter games before, this is the first game I went and got all the gold crowns for small and large. Monsters can have different sizes. They can either be super small or super large or normal. Most of them are normal. If they're super large, you get a gold crown saying, "Hey, you fought a really large guy." If they're super small, you get a small gold crown that says, "Hey, you hunted this guy, and he was really small."
You got a little guy.
And it's just RNG based on which one you get, and it's really annoying, and it's super tedious, but I did it because I'm so starved for content.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On the topic of set piece fights.
Yes.
I think that Faden and I have gotten far enough in Monster Hunter Rise to see that maybe some of the set piece moments in that are going to be this rampage style quest.
Ooh.
And personally, I didn't mind the rampage quests. I thought they were an interesting variation on Monster Hunter gameplay. What do you, as a longtime series fan, think of rampages from Monster Hunter Rise?
So I was pretty similar to what you said. Is like I didn't mind it. It was shaking things up a bit. I don't think it was good. I definitely think it was a one-off, and they'll never do it again. It was because for people that don't know, it's basically like a tower defense mode in the game. With still you hunting monsters, you could just also build a little defensive area, and monsters would constantly charge through, and you would kind of just obliterate them in a weird killing hall format. Where they just kind of funnel in, and you just kind of kill them all.
The thematics of it is that they're attacking the village, and so you can set up like defense bowguns and these little exploding platforms and stuff like that.
Cannons.
Yeah. And it's not, they're doing it because of some other outside force is like scaring them and moving them all rampaging. And so there's reasons behind it. But no, for any other long-term Monster Hunter player, I think the general consensus is that Rampage is bad. People don't like it. Which I think I only interacted with it as much as I needed to beat the main story of that game, and then I never went back to do it again because I preferred just the normal default hunting style of Monster Hunter.
Would you rather do a Rampage quest or the Monster Hunter world? You're on this giant, huge mountain, which is actually a monster. Go whack this stone, which is a hidden weak point.
Honestly, Rampage. I hate Gross. And that's saying because like in Monster Hunter 3, there's a monster called Jen Moran, who's a giant sand whale, and you pretty much do this very similar thing, except I don't know. Sand whale is just way more interesting than moving mountain that really doesn't attack you, doesn't acknowledge that you're even there.
Yeah.
Nope.
And you're just kind of going around and hitting a rock for like 30 seconds, and then you'll go to hit a different rock for 30 seconds. And these are his weak points, so he's like getting damaged.
He's upset about it, but not enough to attack you.
Not enough to attack you or to acknowledge you. He's just kind of moving, and so yeah.
I miss the sand whale.
I know. I was really hoping with the first trailer of Wilds showing like a sand ship in a sand area. I'm like, this is it. Jen Moran's coming, and then he didn't. But there's always chance for an expansion for him to come back.
True enough.
So my question is, as you know, listeners who may not be familiar with these games, as you can at least know by just hearing us talk about it, the best part is the names of the monsters and saying the names of the monsters. So I want to know, like, what are some of your favorite monster names to say from this game in particular?
From Wilds in particular, some of them. I mean, one of the first monsters you hunt is a giant frog, and his name is Chatacabra.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good name, and it's a fun fight. It's super easy. It goes by pretty quick. And at one point, they released an event quest where if you killed a tempered version of him, you got armor spheres. So there was a whole weekend where hunters were just grouping up as 4, and then just you're pretty much as big as this monster is. So it's really just slaughtering this poor Chatacabra over and over again to farm the armor spheres, which you use to upgrade your armor. But no, there's him. There's a snow monkey, and his name is Blanganga.
Blanganga's a good one.
Blanganga is a lot of fun. And then there's another monkey that lives in the jungle, and he's pink, and he poops on you, and his name is Congalala.
Yeah.
And then another one, not necessarily. No, yeah, Lalabarina. It's a spider who is also a ballerina. And
I thought you were about to say a burrito.
Yeah, but no, Lalabarina. That's another really fun one. And yeah, no.
What's the worst name to say?
The worst name to say. Ugh. Honestly, but it's more than just the reason they have to say the name. Yengaruga. He's not in Wilds, but Yengaruga is the gross purple Yenkut-ku. Yeah, and it's not necessarily the worst thing to say, but it's accompanied with one of my least favorite monsters in all of Monster Hunter, and that's enough for me to just not make his name sound bad too. But
why is it the worst?
He's gross. He's just a slightly tankier Yenkut-ku, which is a nice little pink wyvern that is like baby's first
little chicken boy
to hunt. Yeah, it's a little chicken basically. And where Yengaruga is just a tankier version of that, and he's just got a really frustrating attack move pattern because like almost all of his moves send you flying, which is a lot of downtime in a hunt, which is just not as enjoyable. But yeah, that's honestly that's a great point. There is like half of the fun of playing Monster Hunter is saying their silly names and being able to completely come up with different nicknames for all the monsters as well.
Is the Najarala in Monster Hunter Wilds?
Najarala is not in Monster Hunter Wilds, unfortunately.
That's one of my favorite ones to say.
That one, and that's a fun monster to hunt too. I really wish they bring that guy back.
It's a good fight. And the armor looks really cool.
But yeah, I once again found enough content for me to play Monster Hunter Wilds this month.
So are we going to hear about it next month, you think?
There might be another title update next month, so maybe if it comes out next month, good chance. If it doesn't, I'm probably going to find a different game to play, which I think I know what it is, but you'll have to tune in next month to figure out what that is.
It's a perfectly sane, normal thing to do to talk about the same game every month.
Oh yeah, is there any reason you say that, Uncle?
No, not this month actually. I haven't been.
Oh, okay.
No, but
Well, Uncle, what have you been playing?
This month, I have been playing yet another dress-up game. At least that's what I like
dress-up
to think of it
games.
as. Yeah, it's a dress-up game.
You need to be playing actual dress-up games.
I am playing actual dress-up games, and this is one of them. So you're a tourist in a foreign city, exploring beautiful architecture. There's really interesting religious aspects. You get to meet all kinds of zany characters who say just the silliest things. You talk to most of them like through doorways and windowsills, which adds a little mystery to it all.
Oh, Jesus.
Everybody's got these really long faces and long arms and long legs, and the night is long and your dreams go on forever, and your weapons have 2 different settings. And
Would you say you're hunting?
You spend a little time hunting. I played a hunting game last month, a dress-up game last month. I kind of just on that vibe for a dress-up hunting game. I played Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
I'm so surprised you're playing Bloodborne. You just keep surprising me.
So actually, truly, honestly, I was inspired, interestingly, by Lorelei. Like, I wanted to try something.
Oh
hard.
yeah.
I wanted to try something hard that I'm not good at. I am not good at FromSoft games. I am not good at Soulsborne games. I don't usually have the patience for them. I'll reach a point where I just get super frustrated, and I just give up. Well, yep. I went into it this time knowing I've heard that this is a more skill-oriented game in the genre. What was really encouraging for me was that it's not about the gear you collect as much. It's not about necessarily the leveling. You can keep your leveling pretty simple. Like, I honestly, almost all of my first 50 levels were just devoted straight up into endurance and whatever health, vitality, I guess.
Yeah.
Just bigger health pool, bigger stamina pool. You very gradually level up like the first weapon you get, and you can get others, but I mean, you can go through like the whole game with the first weapons you get. And from what I understand, you can do this with all the games in this suite of games. But you could go through the whole thing with just your starting character not leveling up, not getting better equipment. It's possible.
Oh yeah.
You have to be really good at it.
I would never do it.
No.
There's some crazy people.
But I know
recently.
there are freaks who do it. Yeah.
Yeah, they did the whole suite of Soulsborne games, Soul Level 1, no hit,
Wow.
like in a row. And if you get hit in any of the games, well, start all over.
That
sounds miserable.
That's insanity.
That's kind of beautiful that somebody could do that, though.
Yeah, I guess if they did it, it's not insanity.
That's an incredible thing. But anyway, I mean, so like it was there were a couple points early on where I was like, fuck this, I can't do this, I don't want to do it. And then I just pushed just a little bit more, and then it clicked. And it's been really rewarding. I'm doing really well. I'm kind of actually.
Where are you at?
I am in the forest with all the snakes.
I love the forest.
And I'm actually having a lot of fun. I'm wandering around this area that's huge and expansive, and I'm dying, pretty frequently. But I've got enough stuff stockpiled. I have my character leveled to the point, my gear leveled to the point that I feel good. Like I'm just kind of exploring and having fun, getting better at beating these specific monsters. I'm training myself, and I think that's kind of the cool thing about this game is it's so perfectly. Okay, here's how I'm going to reframe this. This is what I love about Bloodborne. It's a good teacher. This game is a really good teacher. From the first encounter with the first enemy, it gives you an opportunity to see their moveset, and then it gives you an opportunity to swing your weapon around at all these boxes and stuff, and get the timing right for all your different moves. See all the different things you can do with your starting weapons. And then you kind of horse around with these guys that they can very easily kill you. One of the great things about these games is that you die from pretty much everything. Everything can kill you.
Yep.
But that forces you to be good, and I think it speaks to me, Faden, in the way that the pathologic games really speak to you. Like, this game doesn't hold your hand. You have to be good to beat it. You have to get better to beat it. You have to learn to beat it.
You have to be okay with failure to beat it.
Exactly. And
Yep.
I think what I like about this game is it always feels fair. I don't think there have been some frustrating deaths, but there wasn't a death where I was completely just flabbergasted and in awe of how unreal that hitbox was, or how much damage that thing could do. Like, okay, that's this game, that's part of the learning curve. So having a lot of fun. I started with the threaded cane, and
the good
really,
one.
I'm really good with that. The whippy cane. I also really I love the Kirkin hammer, a big old hammer. Can't say no to a big giant weapon like that. So those have been my go-tos. I suck with the ranged guns, which is hard for some enemies because counters are really important in this game. Not having
knowing how to
parry
parry is hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a parry; it's an interrupt.
The gun is a parry. The gun is the way you parry in that game.
I mean, I guess you're right. That is the way to frame it. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's why it's so confusing with the guns. Is because you expect it, like, oh, this is my ranged choice weapon.
Yeah.
Where in this game, it's like they would have been better if they just gave you a shield to parry with, because that's what you're doing. You're using the gun to parry. There are some weapons that are like long range and stuff, but
it's for the flavor of it, though, which I also kind of love. Like, if you are a hunter hunting werewolves and vampire monster types, like big Frankenstein things, shooting them is not ever gonna work. Even with silver bullets, if it's a big, giant, scary, mutated monster, man, it'd have to be a pretty special bullet and a pretty perfect shot. Like, an interrupt makes way more sense. I don't know. I love the vibes. I love the art. I love the architecture. I love the stretchiness of all the beasts.
It's so stretchy.
It's so stretchy.
I want to play Bloodborne so dang bad. Port it to
fun.
PC already.
Please.
Yeah, it's worth buying a PlayStation. It's honestly it's my favorite game I've played on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, hell yeah.
I really, really, really like it, and I so honestly, probably part of the challenge and part of the reason why I didn't beat this month's game again was it was really hard to say no to Bloodborne. It was I at every point I was playing Ghost Trick, I wanted to be playing Bloodborne. So I think that's another testament to its fun. Highly recommend it. Yeah, go get some blood.
Go get some blood. Do you have a favorite blood boss?
So as far as I've gotten so far, definitely the lady in the church, the big wolf lady in the church.
Right.
She prays at you.
And then she turns into a big wolf.
Yeah. That's I just love the way that monster looks. I love that model. I love that fight. I thought
That's
it
not the
was-
blood-starved beast, right?
Nope.
No.
It's.
I don't think I've encountered the blood-starved beast yet.
Oh, you haven't been to Old Yarnum yet?
Wait, no, I have. So I have. Where is it?
Oh, it's at like the end of it, and
Okay.
it has a lot of muscle flaps. It's gnarly looking.
super
I've just-
poisony.
I must have just somehow missed it because I was kind of tooling around in Old Yarnum, but then just kind of fucked back off to the church and have been doing stuff around the church and in the forest past the church.
Vicar
Okay.
Amelia. That's the one. That's the
Vicar
Vicar
Amelia, yes.
Amelia.
Yes,
Great
that's
boss. Great
definitely
name.
been my favorite so far. Yeah,
I'm excited because you haven't seen the rest of the game, have you? Like this is pretty much all
that's
new stuff.
As far as I've made it, this is my first playthrough.
Do you
Yeah.
have the DLC too?
Yeah, I got the super duper edition.
I can't wait for you to see, because there's a lot of bosses that are like Vicar Amelia that you'll be seeing later on, and some even
Yeah.
weirder, crazy. Like, I don't want to spoil anything because it's so good. I'm excited for you to see it.
I want
One
to
of
play
my-
Bloodborne so dang bad.
One of my favorite bosses involves jumping somewhere, and there's a moon as a big motif for it. Do you know what I'm talking about, Max?
Yes.
I'll just say the first name, Rom. Rom is
Yep.
one of my favorite bosses.
Good old
Nice.
Rom.
Good old Rom.
Yeah, this is one of my.
Are you
favorite-
gonna try more FromSoft after this?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's gonna be hard for me to. I mean, so okay, I'll probably play. What is it, Sekiro?
Yeah, I would say
that'll-
Sekiro
so-
might
yeah.
be the one for you to
That'll
go
be
to
the
next.
that'll be the next one for me. The stealth elements I'm very interested in because I kind of like the opportunities you get for that in Bloodborne. Like if you learn how to just fucking walk, you can actually
Yes.
you can do a lot of damage to a lot of enemies that otherwise are gonna really fuck you up. Just walk, yeah. Just go for a
walk,
walk.
don't run.
Explore the architecture. Look at
It's
the
funny.
birds.
Dress up
usually
in
what
nice tricorn hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes usually a person to play one of the Soulsborne games once. Say, this is stupid. I'm not playing this. I played Dark Souls 1. I tried it once. I got to like the first boss. I died. I'm like, I don't like losing in video games, and I uninstalled the game. And then my second time going back to play it, I played Bloodborne, Dark Souls 1 a little bit, beat that boss. I'm like, oh, no, that feels good. And then I went and played Dark Souls 3. That was the first one I beat, and I played all of that. And whenever you beat your list of FromSoft games and want to play more, let me know, and we'll play through Dark Souls 3 together. And
Yeah, that'll be fun. We should definitely
I love
do
those
that.
games. Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
Cool.
you should definitely play their best series, Armored Core, at some point.
Maybe. I mean, I might try it. You know how I feel about giant
I know how you
robots.
feel about giant robots. I know.
They're somehow just not for me. It's just it's just on a list of inexplicable things I don't like for some reason, like the color yellow.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about you,
Are
Dale?
you? Hold on, Uncle. Are you wearing a yellow article of clothing right now? Check.
No, not today. I have been trying though. I have some yellow things now that I do wear intentionally, and I've been told I look good in them, so I continue to wear them. But it's a thing. It's a struggle.
It is my experience that whenever you bring up you don't like yellow, you are wearing yellow.
Yeah.
Yep, I was just about to mention that.
No, today I'm in a blout fit. It's all blue.
I'm in a grout fit. I'm all gray.
So when you said bloutfit, I thought you were saying you were wearing a blouse, and I was like, oh, that's cute.
It's a blousey shirt.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Or is it a shirty blouse?
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Blouse is looking a little shirty.
Your shirt is looking a little blousey.
Oh.
What game you play?
My name's Dale Flashpoint, and I played a game called Death Must Die.
Does it?
It must. Death must die. It is a little indie title by Realm Archive. It is a twin-stick survivor-like with ARPG mechanics and Hades stylings.
Okay.
And I first heard about this game about a year ago. It is, full disclosure, still in early access, but it feels like it's going to come out in 1.0 maybe this year, just based on how far along they are in development. How many character slots are visibly left on the character select menu, those kind of things. The game's very polished, very finished feeling. And so let me expand a little bit more on what I just said about its stylings. Twin stick shooter is at its heart of gameplay. Yes, you use both sticks, one to move, one to aim your projectiles. But if you want, you can turn on auto fire and turn it into a one stick shooter like Vampire Survivors. It has ARPG mechanics. So each of the selectable characters has a skill tree that you can spend skill points into leveling up stats. 5 points in one tier unlocks the next tier, sort of thing. A little bit Borderlands-y, a little bit maybe what's that one that everyone played? Baldur's Gate 3 skill points kind of thing. And also loot. ARPG loot is in there as well. So each run, you'll pick up things like swords or boots or helmets that have different stat bonuses. And so to that regard, you can spend a lot of energy customizing these characters in the way you play them. There are a couple of different abilities, we'll call them, shared between each character. So every character has access to attack, power, strike, cast, summon, and passive. I believe it's those 6 things to fill out with modifiers that you'll pick up during a run. So think Hades. Here's where Hades comes into play, because all of these modifiers are presented to you by the different gods. The gods have come together because Death is acting up. Death's out there stealing time from people and like killing people before they're supposed to die. And so time and winter and summer and aqua and lightning and Death's daughter and like all of these, it's not a mythology, like it's not a specific Greek mythology or anything like that, but it's like the concept of gods sort of thing. It feels like a very westernized concept of gods that's also inspired by all of the folklore from the world around us. For example,
so like an American gods, but all gods.
Kind of less abstract, like American gods. Like you still got summer. Summer is the god of fire. Winter is the god of ice. Naya is the god of rocks.
Okay, so elemental gods.
Elemental gods, conceptual gods. There's the god of time. There's the god of justice. There's the god of war. As far as that goes, that I think those are all the. I don't know if there's any more that I've met, because some are more rare than others. Like the god of time is going to give you some really good power-ups. One of them is just 10% damage every second to any enemy on the screen, which is sick. That's so cool. So because it blends the ARPG kind of complexity with the survivors-like simplicity, I really find myself bouncing back and forth between how I play this game. Sometimes I'll play brain off and just go in and turn on auto fire and watch a YouTube video while I just grind out a level or two, getting more experience points so I can spend more skill points and level up the character. Oh, or sometimes I'll be like, this knight guy has 6 slots for power abilities. I think I'll find gear that ups the damage of power upgrades. I'll focus on that. And so every power I get does that much more damage because the boots I'm wearing gives 10% bonus to damage from powers. You can kind of have those two mindsets with it. The music's nah. It's just kind of there. It fits the vibe. This is a little bit grimdark. It's not in your face about being grimdark, but it feels like stylistically you're going to the underworld to fight death in his hometown. So you're fighting a lot of zombies and a lot of dark nights and that kind of thing. One thing that I thought was really funny, this game came out sort of at the height of Vampire Survivors' popularity. I think just after Vampire Survivors did the Castlevania collaboration, I think this game came into early access. And a funny little tongue-in-cheek haha thing that they did. The very first level boss, at 20 minutes, a level boss will spawn. You get a final boss fight. If you beat that, you beat the level. Unlock the next level. And so the very first level boss is Dracula. And when you beat Dracula, you get the achievement Vampire Survivor.
That's nice.
I thought that was really funny. The art is beautiful. It's a pixel art game, and it's 2D isometric, but it feels like it comes from a PlayStation 1 sort of graphic style. The loading screen has this really cool, it's 2D animation, but it looks three-dimensional, like gyroscope, circles within circles, encircling circles, doing circular circulations. And the way that it looks like metal reflecting light, it is so good. It makes me think of like Killer Instinct from the PlayStation 1 or like early Mortal Kombat games that are 2D but 3D. 2D but 3D. That I don't know how else to describe it.
2.5D.
2.5D. Yeah, there you go. The way that this art style presents itself in the stages, in the environments, feels very nice, feels very distinct. Level 1 is the beginnings of the underworld. It's kind of this decaying forest with remnants of some structures of castles. All of the item pickups that you'll find in the stage stand out on top of being marked pretty clearly with a yellow dot on a mini-map. They also look distinct, like they're altars that stand out from just a regular old castle ruin, or it might be a withered tree that's glowing in a way some of the other withered trees aren't. It's really good to look at. I like the way that the gods are characterized. They feel, like I said, they do feel very Western, very Americanized in the way they're written, in the sense of like personality that they carry with them. But it's fun. It's interesting. The god interaction does not go nearly as deep as in Hades, which is where I think this whole system is inspired from. The gods are really just there to make a few comments, a little bit of witty banter, and then here's your upgrade. Now I'm out of your hair. There's no relationship building like in Hades. Some things that I don't like about this game is that much of the many of the pickups, the spell pickups that you get, kind of feel samey. Like, sure, the pickups you get from the ice god are going to be all about freezing and slowing down, but in practice, that effect is very similar to the knockbacks that you get from the God of War. They essentially do the same thing in that they buy you space, so they don't necessarily feel as distinct as they could. That's kind of a minor complaint, though, and I think the biggest complaint is that this doesn't. It hits different dopamine sectors than Vampire Survivors. When I went into this, I was kind of comparing it to Vampire Survivors, which is very arcadey, very instant gratification, very flashy and fast. But I think because the upgrades have been spread out more than Vampire Survivor, like everything in Vampire Survivors you get in a run, and then you start from square one in each run. All your upgrades are done there. But with this game, the gear you collect sticks around, so you're kind of passively upgrading your gear score. The stats that you can get, you're upgrading your character passively. So the power creep is there, but it's not as immediately perceptible as it is in other Survivors likes, like Vampire Survivors, or a different one I've been playing, Spell Brigade. There's a lot of them out there. I just got a humble bundle full of them, and there's some good entries. But I do really like the blend of ARPG and Survivors like. I think overall this game is something that I want to recommend to a lot of people because of how unique it is. It is tagged on Steam as a casual game, but I don't think it necessarily is. It can be casual. You can just, like I said, you can turn it on and turn your brain off and play that way if you want to. But there's a lot of depth here, and I like it for that.
I think that part appeals to me a lot because there's some days where I sit down and I've got two options. I say, do I want to have brain on or do I want to have brain off? And depending on how I'm feeling is what game I end up choosing. A game where I can do both, that would garner a lot of my attention. It's
good. It really is. And it's cheap. There are some good writing, like I said, with the gods. Some of the ones that stand out are the god of water. He's pretty silly, pretty jovial. I forget his name, but he'll always make little sly comments, and he's kind of flirty. And the characters themselves, the player characters, are all like hanging out in this chamber that leads to the underworld. And so depending on what character you're playing, you'll have different interactions as you talk to the other characters you're not playing as. I really enjoy playing as Maris the Sorcerer. She is a sassy internet troll, and she's very funny. Her text boxes have little emojis in them. Like when she says something happy, there'll be the little up carrot smiley face with the little, like the anime up angle eyes. Here, I'll just post it in the chat. This guy, she'll do like the little emoji smiley faces in her text box, and I think that's really cute and funny.
Oh, the emoticons.
Yeah, emoticons. Oh God, emoji has replaced emoticons.
Oh,
yeah.
Emoticon used to be a thing.
Yeah,
but now it's emoji. Whoa. Emoticon. That's a word I haven't heard in a decade.
Okay.
1,000 years.
Wow.
Faden,
you just derailed me hard. That's okay, though. That's okay. I think I needed that. I needed that grounding. Time passes. Life is not Death Must Die, where you get time's hourglass and can just rewind.
That's so true.
That's so true.
That's so true. But, unless you have something else to say, I think we could talk about another game where you can rewind death.
Just one more thing, one more final thought.
Yeah.
Is that I would love to see multiplayer added to this game because a lot of these style games have added multiplayer, and it's a lot of fun. Twin stick shooters are so much fun when you can play them as co-op. Vampire Survivors did it. Spell Brigade did it. Death Must Die. You should do it too. Okay, I'm finished.
No, that's okay. You can keep on going about Death Must Die. That's up to you. I was just,
The pixel art is so good. Folks, you got to go look at this game. If you don't play it, just go look at it. Okay, I'm done.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, that's fine. Should we get on to our Game Club game this month?
I think so. Now is as good a time as ever.
All right. And this month, we played Ghost Trick Phantom Detective.
Phantom Menace.
But before we get into the game, we like to do a elevator pitch on Club Flashpoint, which is one of us will have to pitch the game in 30 seconds or less. Who should do it this time?
I don't think I've done it in a while.
All right, Dale, I will pull up a clock.
I volunteer.
Do it.
And you got to pitch this to someone in an elevator. You got 30 seconds on the clock. On your mark, get set, pitch.
All right, so you know how like mysteries are all like interesting. What if you had to solve a mystery but you're dead? What if you had to solve a mystery as a ghost and you only could do tricks, and like by tricks I mean move stuff a little bit? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a perfect kind of format where we could put this in a Nintendo DS handheld system, and you would do the tricks with the stylus on the touchscreen, and you would push buttons on the left and right shoulders, and I think it would be so good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I love the stylus. Did anyone play this on the DS?
No DS copies of this game go for $100.
Well, I mean...
Wow.
This is a collector's item.
It's easy to hack your 3DS.
Yeah, everything 3DS is super expensive now that it's been deprecated.
Oh,
All
this
right,
is
Faden,
DS.
say the line.
Oh, this is just... Oh, damn.
Yeah, this is just a regular DS game. Yeah.
Yep.
It was, and I'll tell you, I think that's essential to understanding this game because
I would agree with you.
Playing this on a keyboard and not knowing that going into it, it took me a minute to understand a lot of choices in this game. And I was like, why would it be like this? What is the point of that? What is silly?
Because you're playing with a little handheld controller and a plastic stick.
Yeah, because yeah, exactly. Without the gimmick, it's less of a game, and I think that was
I would agree.
It was always a big critique for that generation of Nintendo consoles and handhelds. Was gimmick forward. So yeah, lots of things to say about this game, though.
Yeah,
this particular title was developed and published by Capcom Video Games. The director was Shu Takumi, who is also the director of the Ace Attorney series.
Dale, you picked this game.
I picked this game. I've always wanted to play this game.
Did you?
No.
Say,
I changed
why?
my mind. I changed my mind a little bit of the way through. I like this game, I think, for the story that it tells, but I don't like this game for perhaps the interface that it presents.
I was just going to say, yeah, I would say the exact same thing. I played, I think, the first 4 chapters, and then I had a walkthrough for the next 10 chapters, and then I watched the last 4 chapters because I found that the game was much more enjoyable to me when I didn't have to redo something over and over again because I missed something for a split second.
God.
It's such a better story than it is a game.
That's
The story's cute. I like the story.
Story's cute. It's cute.
I come down on the other end. I think I like playing it more than I like the story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I believe you. I think with Pathologic, that's all I always think back to, though, when it's like Pathologic. Granted, I've never played that game, but I've seen it, and it's been in my cart it's been in and out of my Steam cart so much, where I'm just like, it looks interesting, but, oh, God.
Everyone here should try the new Pathologic 3 demo. It is much different.
But no, yeah.
So for the non-sickos. So we can keep talking about Pathologic. No, that's fine. I don't have much to say about this game.
Yeah, I would come down on the other side, whereas I didn't like the story or the gameplay.
Uncle's just okay. Uncle's firmly a no thank you.
That's not entirely true. That's not entirely.
Uncle's
true.
the third gender.
I came to that's true though, but I came to appreciate aspects of this game later. Things that up front I thought were just absolutely too stupid and absurd and silly actually did have a purpose later. Like those
Of
were
course.
clues to the story.
It's a mystery. Everything is connected.
I mean,
like
it's
chicken.
It's a mystery, but the gameplay is not solving the mystery. The gameplay is connecting dots and pushing buttons,
Yeah.
And nailing timing on
Nailing
puzzles,
timing.
on puzzles where the timing doesn't always make that much sense, and when objects, importantly, don't always interact with each other unless you do the timing correctly. And I think so. Like, and that was for me. Like the fact that this is a 2D plane, everything on this game happens on this 2D space. That's kind of not a 2D space. There are
2.5D. Here we're back.
2.5D.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What we have is 3D characters in a 2D space specifically.
We all played the remake, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's the same way they did it on the DS as well.
It is.
Yeah. And there are some things that are cool about that. Like there are some cute little moments where people interact with the space in funny ways, like falling through trapdoors or something like that. That it just looks kind of funny.
Well, in the very, very beginning, when Lynn falls off the side after being shot, it's like, what?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the side of the world. Yeah, to a lower part of the world. Yeah, great. And then it's also hideously annoying when like you have to hit a ball at this exact timing, but if you don't push the button, like the door that you're hitting it with will just clip through it. And so here's the problem with that. If you miss the first time and you see two objects that are supposed to interact clip through each other, you might assume they don't interact. And there's got to be some other aspect to this puzzle.
Yeah.
I think
Set you
another
on a totally different thought path.
Yeah. Another important thing too with that is that I may be wrong here, but there isn't any branching path. There is one way to do things.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Okay, perfect. It took me way too long to figure that out.
One solution.
Where there's a certain spot where you are stopping Lynn's assassination again with a sniper guy in the junkyard.
Lynn loves getting killed.
Yeah, she'll
By the
die
way.
a lot.
I would say
and-
Commander Sith likes to kill her.
Yeah.
Okay, true. Commander says likes to
Should we
kill.
talk about the story before we talk too much
Yeah,
more
yeah,
about
This,
the
let's do
this
that.
story's
Let's
kind of
do
cute.
that.
Let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, story spoilers here. If you would like to not hear the story, don't listen from here until, I don't know, do you hear music again?
Yeah, until we get to questions, I guess. But also, it doesn't matter. You playing as a
matter.
cat.
You're playing as a cat. Yep.
You're a cat. Yep.
You're a cat. Therefore, your ability is pushing things over.
That's your whole trick. That's what cats do.
Uncle, did you finish the game? In
I
terms
got
of, do you know
pretty-
what happens at the end?
Yeah, I do. I actually got pretty close. I just could not muster the will to finish it. I kept walking away and doing anything else. Like that was my boredom was the final boss for this game, and I was defeated.
What chapter did you end on?
The last thing I was doing, gosh, what was I just finished the puzzle where you get to use missile.
I love missile.
Missile's great.
Yeah, I was like halfway through the puzzle that comes after that.
Okay.
So I think I was on 15 or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I've completed 14 chapters, maybe 15.
So Dale, do you want to give us the high level like story beats on this?
I can give the high level story beats. I'm going to be paraphrasing from the Wikipedia plot section. So basically, you wake up in a junkyard as an amnesiac spirit. You figure out, hey, there's a body. I'm a spirit. That's me. I just died. I'm a guy who has cool hair and a really great suit and sunglasses that would be darker than the night itself. And so you try to figure out what's going on. And when you do that, you figure out you got ghost powers. You can do tricks. And then there's a lamp, and the lamp says, hey, you only got one night to do these tricks and figure out how you died. Otherwise, you're passing on. My name's Ray. I'm a spirit. I'm telling you this. And so you do some tricks, and you save a young girl who you watch die. You come to find out that girl's name is Lynn. She's a detective. She's investigating this case. Your name's Sissel. She was there to meet you. You called her there.
Wait, do you
a little
say
back and forth.
Sissel instead of Cecil?
Cecil?
It's
I said
Sissel. Because she calls you. What's her name? Calls you Sissy.
Yep.
Sissel like Bissell.
I
just figured Sissel like Bissell because it's spelled similar to the vacuum cleaner.
I don't know. I just
with
pronounced
missile.
it.
And it rhymes with missile. Sissel and Missile.
Sissel and Missile, the cat and the dog.
So anyway,
It's like
you do some
poetry, it
stuff.
rhymes.
You save Lynn a bunch of times because she's just addicted to dying. You meet Lynn's little sister character who's also involved in the plot, and it comes to find out that Lynn is investigating a case what she thinks is a wrongful conviction of murder, and that she has to do this. She has to put together these facts that she thought Sissel might have to help, what's the fancy word? Exonerate this guy. So Sissel and Lynn work together. Sissel's trying to figure out more about the past, learns that this detective, Jowd, and another detective who we meet in the present, Cabanela, had arrested this guy, Yomiel, a man falsely accused of foreign espionage. Yomiel flees to a park. The park is called Temsic Park. There's a meteor fragment in Temsic Park. Jode, let's see here.
Well, no. So what happens
trying to get the highlights here.
Right. Well, the important thing is Yomiel takes baby Lynn hostage, and then a meteorite from the sky just brains him.
Yes,
Aliens.
just goes right through his brain.
But that also makes him immortal, and he becomes a spirit bent on revenge, basically.
Yeah. And in that accident, the junkyard cat is also involved.
Well, yeah, the cat's there trying to get attention from I can't remember his name right now. Oh man.
Is it
Jowd?
Jowd, yeah. So it's this huge time/death mix-up, which is crazy and funny and silly, and come to find out the justice minister's daughter has been kidnapped, and this blackmail plot to make sure that this Jowd guy gets executed. And so there's a connection where the neighbor of where Lynn's apartment is she's staying there because she's having this row with her husband, who is the justice minister, and she's kidnapped the daughter. She's just an alcoholic who's just bad at or struggling to find her inspiration. I won't say bad at writing.
Character.
She writes weird novels.
She writes very weird novels.
That's what her daughter says.
Yeah. What is she? Just the lady in red?
Yes.
I guess
she has a name.
Does she?
The justice minister's wife.
Yeah. She's the red apartment. But she's really funny, and her daughter will sass her, and she'll be like, "Hell yeah, I love it."
Yeah, and then
she's like slay queen, slay.
Yeah.
She's like, I hate that you're saying this to me, but I admire your fiery spirit. And then she does a toast with her wine glass, and it has a little shine to it every time she toasts.
It's wonderful.
She lights a lighter on her ass. She's perfect.
Yeah, she writes smut. Her tits are so heavy.
She writes smut.
She walks with a hunch.
She's walking forward because the character art in this game, I think, is it's so
yes. Good. The art style makes me think of this really cool blend of Sanrio chibi, but also anime. It's so good. I really love the thick outlines and the striking colors. That's what I also like about Ace Attorney, though, is that's more of a traditional manga style, but it's still striking.
It reminds me of that more than anything else. But you're right,
a
little more cutesy.
It was clear who the director was. I didn't know who the director was until I started playing, and then I connected Capcom, this game, and then I looked it up and I'm like, oh, of course.
like my favorite thing about both Ace Attorney and this game is actually not the character designs themselves. I actually think the character designs are just fine. They're not really special, except for the lady, the wife of
I
the
like
foreign
the
minister.
lady.
You don't like the way Lynn's hair just sticks straight up in the back?
No.
I kind of like Detective Cabanella.
Yeah, I like Detective
Cabanella is the
I
greatest bisexual to ever grace a Nintendo DS.
I like Jowd's hair.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the thing I like is the animation, though.
Oh, like, yes, he does a Michael Jackson moonwalk.
Well, just everyone's animation is good. I'm thinking about the prison
guards,
guard that every
prison
time he
guards.
gets surprised, he like does a spin in his chair in like a JoJo pose.
I'm reading here that Cabanella's walk cycle took a month to finalize, and the team took that long to make the team consensus.
I believe that.
That makes sense.
It's pretty excellent, though.
It's very good.
One funny connection I made when playing this game is all of the people from the other continent or other country, they're all blue. And so I immediately thought of a obscure reference to the Yellow Submarine movie, the Blue Meanies. And they were in a submarine. And I'm like, is this not a direct reference?
That's got to be a direct reference.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Maybe.
Yeah. Either way, my brain made those funny connections, and so it is.
That's
now
funny.
A reference
I was
in my
thinking
head.
about that movie for completely different reasons today. That's
really
an interesting coincidence. Yeah.
Because I just finished up playing it at work, the game at work today. So I was thinking, I'm like, yeah, this is Blue Meanies. They got a submarine.
We gotta watch that movie again. I love that movie.
It's so good. I love that movie.
Do we want to...
Ghost Detective.
I guess the culmination of the story is that you're a cat. You detect...
Yeah.
You're helping figure out the plot to this... what's the meteor called? Oh, Temsik. The Temsik meteor radiation that Sith knows about and is trying to, like, eradicate with his organization.
Yeah.
Or he wants to harness it for evil purposes.
Yeah, they're just generic evil foreign agent,
we can use this for power.
Yeah.
One funny thing I found out while reading a YouTube comment when finishing watching the last ending of the chapter, the meteorite's name backwards, that word, whatever it is, means destiny in some language.
Huh.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Or that was all a lie,
Kismet.
and that person lied on
It's
YouTube.
Kismet.
No, that's true. That is true.
No, that's true. It is
Kismet's a real word, and it is like destiny or a very spiritual concept.
They're like fate or something. Whoa. Yep. Pretty deep.
Bong rips. Whoa.
That's this whole game, though. Shu Takumi was probably ripping a bong and just like writing down zany ideas. He's like, what if friggin' there's a divorce negotiation going on, but it's important because like it's the Chief Justice and like the guy died 10 years ago, but it's like it's everything's all interconnected in this weirdly esoteric way, but it makes sense because it does.
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting stoner vibes. I'm more just getting, this feels like a cheap, pulpy crime novel vibes.
That too.
Yeah.
That too.
This is a political thriller where the main character is a ghost.
A ghost cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Ghost cat.
I'll shout out to the Rube Goldberg murder machine.
I do
Twice,
love
yeah.
that. Yeah, twice.
Twice, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for actually trying to understand it and how to get through that part with the gameplay. I think when I got to that part, I was like, "Oh, this might."
That
get
was my
really
first
frustrating.
Yep, that was my first hang-up because prior to that, the puzzles do not rely on precise timing. And this one's like, all right, here you go. Here's a timing puzzle.
Yeah, and hope you can guess what each object will do so you can complete the Rube Goldberg machine. I had a really hard struggle with that, along with the stealth section too.
Stealth section was kind of tricky. The only one I actually had issues with was I wasn't realizing I needed to use the flag to like move the not prime minister, the justice minister's like water closer to him so he won't die.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's one of my
other than
biggest.
that, I figured it all out.
Yeah, I guess one of my biggest issues with the game is like the puzzle never really felt super satisfying for me in the gameplay element, just because it felt like I was always just trying to brute force something, since not every object makes sense on what you think it's supposed to do. And then you add in the time element of like making sure you hit the right thing at the right time, but you wouldn't even know if it's the right thing unless it works.
Or if it doesn't, and then a character says, I need to do something with this, but now's not the right time.
Yeah. And so I think just that repetitiveness of like trying a puzzle and then failing it and then having to rewatch like sometimes the slow process of the world moving, that like lost time in terms of like redoing gameplay is what really frustrated me at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Or I would say the build up throughout the game.
Something I think we mentioned earlier is that failing something and then having to watch a cutscene all over again, basically. Oof. Like you can't speed through it, you can't skip it. You have to listen through this whole not that clever, funny, interesting, or insightful.
They're clever
dialogue.
and funny the first time.
Maybe. I didn't. Not for me.
I thought they were, but I get it.
I think it's definitely for some people. It's just definitely not for me.
It's a real 50-50 for me. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's funny. Like I liked everything in the chicken restaurant. Like that. I think that's my favorite set piece. Mostly because I just like the weird like spies, the foreign spies, because they just have such different vibes of dominatrix and weird scummy dude. I just like those combos.
It bothers me more than it should that the chicken has one bone.
One bone.
all of the chickens, because that you see like 3 chickens devour it, I think, maybe 2 or 3, and they each only have one bone. It's the one bone you see sticking out of the one drumstick, and they're done eating it, and that's just one bone.
And anytime anyone eats, it's like, besides one instance, it's the chicken.
Yes, and it's just mouthful after mouthful.
Just filling up on chicken.
Yeah. Not for me. I think what was just frustrating for me was that like it was usually just a matter of timing. Like I would fuck up the last bit of timing on a big elaborate Rube Goldberg thing and have to set the whole thing up again, read through dialogue again, and at any given step in that where you can pause, I might just pause and then get up and get a drink of water, and then, an hour later, oh yeah, I was playing this. I walk back into the room, and that happened to me a lot. Cats are crying, I gotta go get them some food. I get them some food, and then I'm kind of hungry. I'll get me some food, and then I really could just go for a walk. And I go for a walk, and I come back, and I walk past the office on my way to the bathroom. Oh, dude, look at that! I got playing a video game right now.
And 2 seconds later, Bloodborne sounds great right now.
Yep.
I have a question because so like part of this gameplay is you're inhabiting objects that have something called cores. Don't exactly know what a core exactly is, but it doesn't really matter.
It's pretty unclear what objects get to be possessed and which ones don't. Other than some of them glow, some of them don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
it doesn't totally matter, I guess.
It doesn't matter, but so you're jumping between these different objects throughout the map, and this is how you travel and stuff. I was curious for you, Uncle, how was doing that on mouse and keyboard? Because honestly, switching, doing all the Ghost World stuff was actually pretty just nice and clean on a controller.
It wasn't that bad, except for a couple of instances where it was pretty obvious you're supposed to be stylusing your way through these. WASD just is not as. Ooh. It doesn't work like a stylus. It's not mouse controls. It's WASD to move the little thingy around.
I thought it would be a mouse.
Yeah, no, it's not that.
Oof.
So, I mean, maybe that was one of the options that I somehow missed when choosing the control scheme. But I'm sure it is. I'm sure I missed it. But I did not see a mouse option, so I WASD'd it, and it was only really a pain in the ass in the one where you're playing as Missile for the first time, and you're trying to thread the needle on a couple different points to get balls switched.
I do love that level though. I like the park guy.
I liked it. I also like the park guy, and that was one of the first levels where I was like, okay, this is interesting now. Like this is an interesting puzzle. Like I don't think the game actually was interesting until that puzzle. There were a couple.
I would agree.
There were a couple moments where I was like, but this isn't much of a game. And then I got to that level, and I was like, okay, now I see something here. This is cool.
I understand why they can't do what I'm suggesting, but like I think like the second or chapter 2, I think when you're helping the little girl, I can't remember her name. Camilla, yeah. That would have been a perfect time for, or like actually a little bit later, but give me that ability sooner in the game.
Yeah.
So that the gameplay changes a little quicker. Because I agree, when you got the swapping move, it definitely reinvigorated me.
Game.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, now I can actually have more effect on some of these. I'm not just watching the game, and I'm not like hitting my QuickTime event button when I think it's supposed to go off. I think if they introduced that earlier on and then introduced more, but for story reasons, obviously it couldn't have worked out that way. But find a different reason to give me that power. Then I think getting that sooner and getting powers more often would have made me more invested in playing the gameplay.
Yeah. No, I think chapter 15 out of 18 is way too long to be introduced to a new power in that game.
The power that completely changes the game in some respects. Like it doubles the possibilities.
It's also a damn shame you can't play with the third power much either.
Yeah.
It's like one mission, it feels like, I think.
Yeah, you get to do it one time. Not even one mission. One time. You get to do the manipulator power.
That's a bummer. But yeah, I mean, so like I said, there are things I appreciate about this game, but it was, so towards the end, after I finally figured out, I'm supposed to be playing this on the Nintendo DS in my dad's car on my way to a family vacation. Like that's why this game isn't hitting for me right now, because it's not the only distraction I have. I'm not 14, and I don't have a fun little pen in my hand that makes it feel a little more magical. Like
gotta have that fun little pen.
I sound kind of like patronizing when I say that, but I mean there's nothing wrong with that. Like that's what this game is, and I just am not living that right now. I bet you if I did have it in my hands when I had a Nintendo DS and I was on a road trip, I would have liked this game a hell of a lot more.
Nintendo really did have that monopoly on mobile gaming until more recently, when you can be playing full-blown AAA games sometimes on the go, where you're just...
Yeah.
So the scope of games to grab your attention have to be pretty either hyper-specific into one really enjoyable thing, or broad enough to really grab a lot of people.
I would honestly personally say we don't have mobile gaming anymore unless you count phone stuff. Because even a Steam Deck and a Switch isn't really mobile gaming in that way.
And you really shouldn't count phone stuff. Phone stuff is just a casino in your pocket for the most part.
Well, it depends on the game, but yes, you're right.
No, you're
right.
right.
You can buy actual games.
If it's something that we're specifically describing not as a game on your phone, but as phone stuff. Like a gotcha game, like whatever your game is that.
I play nonogram puzzles on my phone.
Yeah.
I play Minesweeper on my phone.
That's Picross for the normal person.
Oh, okay. I did not know what you meant.
I have Vampire Survivors on my phone, and that's a game. That's a game.
Yeah, it is. We talked about that game on this episode.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I mentioned it at least twice.
Wait, hold up. I have KOTOR 1 and 2 on my phone, though. So
yeah, that's a whole game.
That's gaming. That's gaming right there.
It is.
Can I tell you a fun fact about this Ghost Trick Phantom Detective game?
No, the podcast is over.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. No,
We
no,
didn't
please
even do questions.
No. Yeah.
I'm just being a
So
stinker.
the title was changed to Ghost Trick because in Japanese,
Blowjobs.
no, get this. In Japanese, the word to possess is toritsuku, and the Japanese pronunciation of the English word trick is toriku. So it's a pun.
It's a pun. Jesus
Wow.
Well, that's Ghost Trick. Is there any last thoughts we have for it? Because honestly, okay, actually,
The
here's my
music.
last
I need to talk about the music.
Yes, let's
I
talk
didn't
about the
talk
music.
about the music yet because
There
I
was
need
one-
to talk
yeah.
about the music, and I loved the music, and oh my goodness. This game has some funky music, which makes sense because it was done by the exact same composer who composed some of my favorite video game music of all time, Masakazu Sugimoru, the Ace Attorney video game music composer. It's so jazzy. I feel like where Ace Attorney gets this intensity, like I'm just thinking of the music for the cadenza from Ace Attorney when you go objection. It's just like so just dun 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 da-da-doo, ba-da-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Anyway, very good, very intense. That's cool for a courtroom, but we're not in a courtroom. We're on the beat. We're a detective. We're a gumshoe out there trying to figure out what the heck's going on. So you get these like groovy clave beats where it's like and just there's like a vibraphone in the background because you're a lounge jazz player. You're just like and you just want to go zoobity dwa ba ba boo. And this song gives you the zoobity dwa ba ba boo that
I
you
think
so
only
crave
one
as a
song does
detective.
that. I think only one song does that, and that's Cavanella's theme.
It is Cavanella's theme, which is the
But
one I'm
no-
going to pick.
Right,
how I feel.
but there's no
That's how
other
I feel.
there's no other song that's like that in the
The-
game is my issue.
There's hardly
Okay,
even
but-
any other song.
Yeah.
It's like two songs on this.
Yeah.
This whole soundtrack.
The investigation music's kind of cool when you're going into and like tricking around, being a ghost trick. But yeah, I straight up
kind
listened
of
to Cavanella's
is.
theme for about 10 minutes before moving on in the game when that came on. It took me away. It took me to places that I want to go back to right now.
There
This
was
is my-
one other song in the. I can't remember. I don't know any of the names of any of the songs or whose songs they could be attached to. It kind of all just flowed at once. But there was one song that had this really weird noise for just like for 2 beats or something. I'm gonna have to find it after this and post it somewhere. So
The soundtrack is on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I'll find it and do it there. But it
Speaking
was a
of
weird
weird
noise, and every
sounds.
time I heard it, I was like, I kind of like that.
There's a
that's
weird,
my.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I before I forget, there's a weird little sound. The one clue that I did catch that you're a cat. I caught it every time it happened because every time it happened, it distracted me. When you go down the telephone line anywhere and it goes, you're zooming around in the wires. There's a meow right before you land wherever you're going.
I didn't catch that.
No
There is a
kidding.
distinct meow in it. I can
Hell
hear it.
yeah. I
And
think you're
every time I heard it, I took off my fucking headphone the first like 4 or 5 times. It's like, what? I thought for sure it was my cat Simon, like, because he does that. It's like, what, dude? What? I'm playing video games.
That's crazy. I didn't catch that. That's a good drop.
Yeah. like
One
right
thing
before
I
you
want to
land.
mention about the music is that this remaster does have an updated arrangement, which is done by yet another Ace Attorney composer, Yasumasa Kitagawa. And I think he does a very good job of just kind of really updating the sound font. The arrangements are the same, but because this is 2025 and the HD re-release was released, I think 24, maybe 23. I can tell you right now, it was re-released in 2023. You can just use better instruments. So that's what he did, and the sounds are the same, but they're HD. And as a fan of music, I like that. It's the same stuff you would hear on the DS, but with an actual clave electric piano. Because why not?
Because the DS chip format sounds really cool, and maybe you lose something by changing it up. I mean, I said maybe. I say maybe. I don't think that's true for this one. I think that's why not? But like, I don't know. Both were fine. Both sounded fine.
There's truth in that. The DS sound chip was great, and it gave us some really good music, like Ace Attorney's Cadenza.
My biggest thing about this game is, man, you really kind of set us up for failure here, Dale, by putting Lorelei and then this.
Ha! Oh, that just peaked my audio. Yeah, I did. Lorelei's a way better puzzle game.
It's just a better game in all ways.
I would say the music was stronger in Lorelei. I would say the art direction is...
It's a lot newer. It was made. Okay. It was made for the format on which we were playing. You know.
Hey, Ghost Trick walked so Lorelei could sprint.
Also, I don't think that's true. But
Lorelei didn't really sprint. She just kind of walked too.
Also, a completely different class of
puzzles. Yeah, there's no similarities to these games besides they're both puzzle games.
They're both puzzle games. Yeah.
My thing is, I was gonna say, I'm always the wild card. I don't always prefer the newer over the older.
Right.
So I could have liked this better than Lorelei. It's just I just don't.
There you are. There you have it.
I really do. I have a much deeper appreciation for this game when I think of myself again in a sweaty back seat of some minivan or like a Suburban on our way to go do something less interesting than playing a game that's in my hand right now. That's what this would be in an ideal world, and I can appreciate it for that.
Yeah, there was one thing I thought when playing this game before I realized that it was a 2DS game. I realized pretty quickly because I played a lot. I was on the DS and 3DS for the entire lifetime of it. Probably not the last like 4 years. It literally just became a Monster Hunter gaming machine. That's all I used it for, was to play Monster Hunter games. But there was a long period of time where I was looking at like the release of mobile games and looking at indie games on the 3DS and stuff, and because like the scope of those games were scoped out for the platform of the 3DS, and it's kind of its own unique gameplay. It's not always the best, but there's a lot of stuff that's unlike. There's not many stuff that's like playing on a DDS or a 3DS when they make you play those like pen games where there's a platform, there's a thing you're drawing on, and like you can do different weird stuff with that. And I can appreciate that. I'm not in a time right now where I'm enjoying playing those games, but previously I was all in it. I think I just hit this game at the wrong age.
It's all about the context of what's surrounding this game. I think for me, we just played so many bangers this year, and to play a game that's just perfectly good, perfectly fine, it just feels weird.
Yeah, we're putting a 6 out of 10 amongst some 10 out of 10s.
That's true. You gotta play to know.
Yeah. And Dale, you didn't even play Judero or Citizen Sleeper 2, so you don't even know how wrong that statement. That statement is.
Right. I'm missing some of the games.
Oh, Dale,
some of the context.
You gotta play Judero.
Yeah. I feel like I would love Judero, and I could get it done in a day.
Yeah.
I don't think you should make proclamations on how you're getting games done. Just no offense to you, but does that seem like setting yourself up for failure?
That's a good punchline. I get it. I'm laughing. I'm laughing. I am.
I'm just saying. It's just
no. Please do. That's good. Okay. I like it. You're in your lane.
I'm in my lane.
I got you.
I am moisturized too.
You are moisturized. Good.
Should we get into questions?
I think it might be that time.
Now that we're talking about moisturization.
Yeah. You know what? My final thought on Ghost Trick. I don't think I would even replay it if I did finish it. I don't think I would even do that.
Yeah?
Yep.
Not even once?
Not even once.
I'm pretty close, and the puzzles just actually got kind of fun, so I might finish it.
I do love the submarine puzzle. Won't
Yeah,
lie. The last puzzle of the game, really
Yeah.
good.
I honestly, as soon as that second layer of gameplay hit, I was like, you know what? This is not bad. Yeah.
One of the puzzles is you have to get a mouse to flip over in a torpedo, and it's kind of amazing.
Wow.
Why is there?
It's kind of ridiculous.
That reminds me. There's the one thing that kind of bugged me is you really just abuse the shit out of mice in this game.
No, not of the mice, of the one mice, right? It's the same guy, right? It's the
I'm
same
pretty sure
rat.
it's the same guy. This
Yeah.
is Looney Tune logic.
Yeah,
I guess it has to be Looney Tunes. Yeah,
It's
Yep,
especially
because the other
bad,
rats are different color.
It's especially bad in that apartment.
When you zap it to almost
Yeah.
death.
You electrocute him. You set his tail on fire. You get him smacked with a bottle of wine.
Oh fuck! You know what? Maybe that's the best puzzle one is when you have to try a erotica lady in like the chandelier and she's all stuck,
Yeah,
kicking around.
That's a pretty funny one.
Tells her daughter to come get her down. The daughter's like, "I'm too sick to move," and she's like, "I'm so happy for you. You're right. You're so
Yeah.
sick to move, and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, resting."
Yeah.
Toast to that.
Yep. Guess I'll just
God.
hang out.
Hell yeah, I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that. Man, wine moms holding it down. All right, question time.
Question time.
So, Bean wants to know, how does the game handle the themes of fate, the themes of memory, and the themes of identity?
You know,
Okay, so one kind of cool thing I did like that, like animals really do have the minds that animals kind of have in this game.
yes.
I kind of
Missile
love
was
that.
very much a
Yeah.
Pomeranian.
So in terms of identity, that's something I really liked about this game. Yeah, the Missile, the Pomeranian, you know, like you ask him, you're like, why do you just bark at fucking everything? And he's like, I guess the only thing going through my mind is welcome. Even when it's a knock on the door, you're like, yeah. He's like, and when you see like the ornament on the tree twinkle, what are you thinking? I'm thinking welcome.
Welcome.
I
was
love
good.
that Missile
And
has
that-
like 3 tails.
Missile's music is pretty
Yeah.
good. That's just him
Yeah.
wagging his tail so fast.
And another one of the first big hints that you're a cat, you can't fucking read, even after you see words and you don't.
Oh, that's
remember
right.
them, because everything else, like you can, like everything you interact with, you're just like, oh yeah, I can do this. Actually,
Oh my gosh.
most objects you interact with that any given fucking person would.
You're
know
like,
what
I have no
that
idea what this is.
Like a candelabra, you're like, this is a thing that's on fire sometimes. I bet it could be on fire again. I feel
Yeah.
That makes so much sense now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
knowing no concept whatsoever.
Yeah, you're.
I wrote down in my notes that no one in this game knows what a fucking microscope is, which is also true because the detectives also say
That
in that
is true.
scene,
Right.
I don't know what this stuff
Yeah,
is.
Lynn's like, I have no clue what this is.
Yeah.
No one's seen a
Also,
microscope.
Every cop in this game is really dumb, which is really
I love it.
funny.
Yeah.
Bluey and Greeny.
Uh,
Well,
But
even
yeah,
fucking the spy that is like planting the bugs on the chicken things.
yeah. The undercover cop.
Yeah, memory.
Yeah. She sticks out like a sore thought. Like literally every single person that sees her thinks the thought, she's strange. That's she's odd. That girl's weird. I think so too. Everybody says I think so too, and she's the undercover cop. Every single person is like, there's something.
I
up
do
about her.
think the bit where everyone's like, she's weird. I think so. I think so too. Kind of goes on way too long.
So annoying. One of the things that really annoyed me. I thought the fact that everyone noticed the undercover cop was undercover was funny. I did not like that bit.
I also liked how bad the fucking bartender is in the upper floor. That doesn't even notice like a drink is spilled. I think he's also an undercover cop.
Maybe. I don't think so. I think he actually just works there because the one girl's like, I've only been here for 2 days, but I've been trying to get you to notice me the whole time. And he's just
That's
like,
true.
Huh?
Yeah, he truly isn't paying attention. You can spill a glass.
You can spill several. You can shatter dozens of glasses and he'll never notice. I tested. It's true.
It's true. I tested.
You could just do it over and over and over again. Nobody ever says anything. Actually, that was another thing that kind of bugged me. Is like sometimes everybody sees the ghost stuff, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what was that?" And other times you do ghost stuff right in front of people and no reaction.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So themes of identity and memory and fate.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty strong.
I mean,
identity.
simple.
I think they nail identity. They nail character.
Yeah, they.
Yes.
I don't know if they. Yeah, I don't know if they nail identity. Like, I don't think they explore anything with identity. They just have a very strong character voice.
Yeah.
Yes. Every character is distinct.
But yeah. I mean, I guess I keep thinking about what you said, Uncle. I guess you are right. It really is the identity of a cat is actually this guy, and it's obvious when you look at it.
Oh, totally.
I just wasn't looking at it.
Me either.
The only reason I thought the main character was going to be a cat was because we saw a cat multiple times, and I'm like, there's been nothing about that cat. I'm pretty sure I'm that cat.
What a bummer to accidentally shoot your own cat.
Yeah.
Sad.
Sad. But at least by you having your cat get shot, you saved the day?
True.
Yeah, inadvertently. Bean also asks, assuming that Sissel is creating alternate timelines, do you think it would be possible to make a sequel Ghost Trick game, but with a new main character? Why or why not?
Not possible.
Not
No,
possible.
Temsic meteor fell once. That's all it is. It
the
only fell
science
once.
isn't there.
Yeah. Just with the way the story shakes out. Though,
I mean, of course there could. There could be.
Yeah.
What about Temsic 2?
It's time travel. There's always
very
a possibility.
Easy. Yeah, where'd that rock come from? Is the original rock that has a species on it, and they do a lot of death stuff? There's a lot of places you could take it.
Ghost Trick 2 being the alien invasion sequel would be wild.
I love it. Bring us an alien invasion Ghost Trick.
But it's like haunted by alien ghosts. Like it's a rock of like they just like why are there all these dead bodies? What does this mean? And then the world just starts getting fucky as the aliens have already invaded.
That'd be kind of like that's actually kind of a cool like setup.
Different death powers, maybe.
Like a cool setup for like a sci-fi world. Like what if aliens are just multi-dimensional beings that can possess inanimate objects, and then they could just slightly move them in ways that fuck with us. And so, dude, we're all just like walking into like garden, like rakes and stuff. Like we're like falling into traps and just like just Looney Tunes shit because like these aliens have just possessed all these inanimate objects and they're just like fucking with us.
I recommend the 3 Body Problem book series.
Yeah, no, I know about those. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They're
good.
I'm just now realizing what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're good. Aliens mess with physics to fuck with humans. It's funny. It's kind of funny cosmically. What if I just changed up terminal velocity as a treat?
There's a There's a Warhammer alien species that just ages your enemies with like age
Hell
codes.
yeah. The aliens that make you old.
Yeah, no, they just and it's crazy because they use them on
That would
Space
suck.
Marines who are like functionally immortal, and they just get like older
Now
and
you're-
older and older and older and older, and eventually they do turn into dust. But
Fuck yeah.
It's a lot of agony on the way there.
That's
Warhammer.
Beans says
That's
one
our
more
answer to that Bean Sprout question.
Yep. That's your answer.
If you turned into a ghost, what would your ghost trick be?
Ooh.
I'm swapping people's emotions.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
Wow. Whoa.
I'm sorry. I don't know why. It just like as soon as Dale finished the question, it came to me.
Interesting. I like that one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
My ghost trick would be a flash of bright light.
Mine just you can change the smell of the objects.
Ooh. Man, you say it as if like it's not impressive, but honestly, you could really fuck with things.
Oh yeah.
you could.
Guys, this apple smells like oranges.
Like you really want to commit to like a vengeance plot. Like that's
Right.
the one to go with, because then you could just permanently ruin somebody's like sense of taste. You could ruin their reputation.
Yep.
And there's just no answer for it. There's no explanation. It's just they
Make
can't
their
eat
shirts
anything.
smell like garbage all the time.
Yeah.
They can't go anywhere. They like things that everybody loves are just horrible for them. Yeah.
I'd make it so their house is their sanctuary and it always smells good in their house and it smells worse everywhere, and make them like a huge agoraphobe.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then you take it away. And then nothing smells good no more.
Right, and then nothing smells good, and it's like, damn, this
Except
last
for
bastion.
me.
I guess I have to unalive myself. It's except for me, and then maybe we date?
Question mark?
Question mark?
That's- Yeah.
What if I'm the
nothing-
only thing that smells good?
This is it's gone horribly wrong. I don't like
What if
dating
my
anymore.
what if my revenge plot turns into my lifelong partner?
How do you like these answers, Bean Sprout?
Wait,
Well,
yeah.
what about
and
Max?
Mine would be a system that actually follows some kind of logic, and I can only go through technology through power. Only some objects are interactable with, and it's just the ones that have power source, like
Right.
why you can go over a telephone line or something. And
Well, that makes sense. Ghosts can speak through phones.
yeah, exactly. So I just go into people's computers and make it so they have to turn it off and turn it back on.
I make it so they have to download the porn they don't like.
There are some solutions that aren't fixed by anything else, and the only answer is to turn it off and back on again.
That is
That
true.
was the issue. Is I just hit the switch.
What if that kills you? What if that kills your ghost you? You're like, they shut down the computer before you have a chance to escape.
It's a one-use power.
I'm a power user, and I can use Power Admin to go into PowerShell and set that
Hell
up on
yeah.
a timer, and
Fuck
then
yeah.
leave.
Nice.
Yeah, you can. That's goddamn right. The next question set, by question set, I mean the next question. The next question is Hilver. I think it's cute when DS games have a D and S acronym in the title. What are your favorite
not a question.
examples? Hang on.
No.
What are your favorite examples, and what would you rename this game to give it a DS in the title? I mean,
Advance Wars Dual Strike.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I loved Advance Wars. I didn't know they did that.
I didn't either.
I would say Ghost Trick detective stories. Right?
Yeah, and then you could do an anthology of different stories with ghost
Or
tricking.
or Ghost Trick Phantom Detective demon stories.
Demon stories.
Ghost Trick. Dude, spooky.
Dude, spooky.
Ghost Trick Dead Sissel.
Dead Sissel.
Dead Sissel.
Oh my god, those
That-
man.
Dark Sissel.
Ooh, see,
You have
Dead
it-
Sissel's
Ooh.
also
This
funny
is the
because
sequel.
we forgot to say that
Ghost.
it's the name of his fiance who killed herself.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that whole plot twist.
That whole thing. Let me name my cat after my fiance who,
True.
unalived herself. I would not do that. I would simply not do that.
Dark story.
It's so dark.
Ghost trick, phantom detective, domestic squabbles.
Ooh.
I did think it was kind of crazy that poor child accidentally killed her mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
With
mean,
a gun.
with
Granted,
a
it was
Well,
like
it
when
got
she started the
ghost
Rugol machine. The guy knew to ghost trick it, but still, the kid didn't know that for forever.
right. The kid straight up thought I unalived my mom with a surprise birthday party.
One of the dumber parts of the story is that her dad thinks the solution is that he'll go to prison.
I'll just take
for
the
it.
blame. It'd be way
Yeah.
better for my child if I'm also gone.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
watched your mom die and you're blaming yourself for it. You know what, honey? I'm going to blame myself for it. And you know what? This won't develop any kind of complex in you, and you'll be fine without me. It's going to be great. Let's do that. Yeah.
My thing is also like, who did
Literally
she
just
stay
say it's
with?
an accident.
Yeah, just say it's an accident.
Yeah, literally just say it's an accident. Lynn,
Or
I think
even
it's
be
implied
like-
she stayed with Lynn.
But Lynn's not an adult by that time yet. The math doesn't work.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So it's even
I don't know.
more irresponsible he turned himself in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Jowd.
the worst explained thing I think in the story was why did he think that was okay to do that choice?
And it's also not like the fucking Ace Attorney justice system where they probably would convict and then hang a child. Like, I could see them doing
jeez.
that.
True. I'm looking for other examples of DS games with DS in the title. And are we talking, I guess this would be a question for Hilver directly. Are we just talking like a game called Beetle Junior DS?
No, I think
that count?
Dual Strike is what Hilver is.
Or like Battle Spirits Digital Starter from
Yeah.
Bandai Namco.
Yeah, like that. Or my
Okay.
favorite one, which this is cheating, it's a 3DS one, Kingdom Hearts 3DS. Kingdom Hearts Dream
Betty
Drop
Boop's
Distance.
Double Shift.
Oh gosh.
Let's
sorry.
not discount Betty Boop's Double Shift, a puzzle game developed and published by DSi Games, based on the popular Betty Boop. Wikipedia is a powerful tool to have up while you're podcasting, turns out.
It is. Yeah. No,
I feel like I've unlocked the next level.
yeah, no,
What
that-
about Bleach Dark Souls? That one counts. There we go.
Digimon Story Super Zero Sword? Oh, wait, hold on. That's in Japanese. Dream Salon.
Dreams.
Salon.
Enter G Dance Squad.
Bubble Bobble Double Shot.
Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword.
Ooh, I love a dragon sword. Who doesn't?
Godzilla Unleashed Double Smash.
Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow.
Holy shit, that's DS.
That's DS.
I didn't realize this. Resident Evil Deadly Silence.
Wow. Chocoken no dekake de sweet. Oh, wait, that has a wagon at the end.
Dig Dug Digging Strike.
Very nice. Very nice.
I didn't
Are you on a
Lunar,
list of specifically
Lunar,
this?
Dragon Song.
Oh, Dragon Song.
Full Metal
Damn, with the
Alchemist.
Dragon
Dual
Song.
Sympathy.
Okay, 7 more.
Mr.
Seven,
Driller.
okay.
Drill Spirits. Peggle. Dual Shot.
Check this one out. Check Steel Commando. Steel Disaster. They hit you up with the switch up. It's the SD.
Ooh, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor 2.
Does that count? Devil Survivor 1 was a thing. I guess it counts.
Well, yeah, and so here's my other one, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor.
Perfect.
The Dark Spire. Digimon Story Lost Evolution.
Digimon Story.
Jin-
Cross words. The D and the S are capitalized at the end.
Tennis O Oju-sama Driving Smash. Let's call that 7.
Okay, I think that's 7.
I was just gonna say, do you think we could do 7 more?
No, we could not. We were running out, actually.
Yeah, I think we're at the limit.
Well, let me look up 3DS with 3DS in the name. Hang on.
Oh, yeah. We can cram a few more in
We
there.
can cram a few more in. What are we playing next month, y'all? Actually, I should say what we're playing next month because this is my choice. This is my game. We're playing. I'm sorry. There's been a change in the. It says Pathologic 1.
Bad choice. Yeah.
That can't be.
Rewind.
That
Rewind.
can't be.
You can play that, and we're gonna play
Star Wars
Republic Commando.
Commandos of the Republic.
The cool one.
I'm so excited to actually finally play through this game and play more than just the second level.
Pretty good.
Also, it's a game club tradition to play a Star Wars game at least once a year, thanks to me.
Got
and
to.
My
Gotta do
lame
that.
ass. Also, remember to cancel your Disney Plus. Should shout that out while we're talking about Star Wars. Cancel your Disney Plus. Support the BDS movement. Anyway, it's Star Wars time next month.
Republic
Yeah.
Commandos.
Yeah.
I love this game. I
Yeah?
can't wait. Yeah.
I am looking forward to when I first start playing it to get a head start on it. I'm excited.
Have any of you
to
played it before?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I have.
I played it before, but only a little bit.
It's great.
Yep. I'm
Hell
excited.
yeah. I'm ready to kill some battle droids. I'm ready for the blood to get all over me. I mean the oil.
Yeah. Laser windshield wipers, baby.
Laser windshield vipers.
sweet.
We're in the fucking gritty era of Star Wars.
All right.
Also, Uncle, before I forget, you pointed something out to me
I do that.
about what this is, what type of games we've been playing this year.
That's right. This is the year of amnesia.
Oh, wow, it really is, huh?
Citizen Sleeper.
Yep.
You wake up, you don't know nothing.
Lorelei, Laser Eye.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wake up, you don't know nothing. Disco Elysium. You wake up, who are you? I don't know.
I don't know.
This game,
And
Phantom
this game.
Detective. Who are you?
Who am I?
It takes
Are
you a
we-
while to figure it out. Man.
We're stealing a video game donkey joke. Not intentionally, I should say, because it's like an easy one to make because it's the plotline of every video game these days.
Oh, amnesia.
He got amnesia.
Well, now you're stealing it because
Now
you're
I'm
the bit.
directly quoting
Yeah,
it.
there you
now
go.
I'm directly quoting it. Okay.
I think literally this is our last amnesia game, though. Until we play our year of amnesia.
There's a
where
couple
we're
we haven't played.
Well,
We don't know anything about what waits in Still Wakes the Deep.
oh, that's true.
What if that one's all about-
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
we don't
that
know.
one's gonna
We
be
don't know.
spooky.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Very excited.
Also, if you have questions, you can send them to me, Bluesky. Find me on Faden Cross there. Please.
You can find me there as well at Dale Flashpoint.
Hell yeah, you can. Please send us questions for Star Wars Republic Commando. But also, I have a special announcement for this podcast. We are doing a bonus episode, hopefully next month. And
Bonus.
that bonus is going to be me talking to a friend about Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Hey, a new game.
Heard good things.
I'm playing a new game, and you know what? To preview it, it's pretty fun. I kind of think it looks like ass a bit because that kind of graphic style is ass, but you know what? It's fun to play.
Yep. As long as you're having fun, you know what, kids? As long as you're having fun.
As long as I'm getting my parries.
Yeah.
Uncle, do you have anything to shout out?
Just be nice to your fellow human being. Be aware of ongoing genocide in Gaza.
Cancel your Game
support-
Pass. Don't fuck with Microsoft.
Yep. Figure out who still fucks with Israel and stop fucks with them.
Yep.
It just ain't worth it, friends.
Fuck NPR.
Frankly, yeah. It's getting pretty bleak, but I think people are starting to see just how bleak it is, and they're getting pretty done with all the people who refuse to admit it. So, wake up!
Like up.
Yep.
Max, what about you? Do you want to follow that up with something you want to shout out?
Yeah, I like being nice to people. It feels good to being nice to people. Try being nice to people.
Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I hope you all have a great month. Oh,
Yeah.
you
Sometimes
go.
it's the only thing that makes you feel better. Think about
Yeah.
I was going to say reach out to your local community council and see if there's like a bike trails council you can help out with. I know that many communities are working on expanding bikeable spaces, which is awesome because bikes are cool. It's fun to ride a bike. So yeah, if your city doesn't have that, then I don't know, spread word about bikes. Bikes are cool.
Can we do 7 more call to action pitches? I'm gonna say public transit.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, public transit's cool.
Public
Transit
transit's
public.
cool. Do it. Support it. It's neat. All right, 6 more causes. Who has 6 more causes? Stop making
Volunteer at the soup kitchen. Volunteer at a local soup kitchen.
stop
Longer
making games look like ass.
Longer podcasts.
Longer podcasts. You know what? And we're doing our service. So 4 more. We need 4 more.
Longer video essays and more frequent.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
No.
In fact, all essays should be video essays, and Faden has to read
Jesus.
them all.
No.
Yeah.
Watch them all.
That's cause
Oh.
number 3.
2 more. 2 more.
Yeah.
Play tabletop games by trans creators. They're usually better.
Yeah. Just play tabletop games.
Tabletop is fun.
Don't
Tabletop.
support
oh.
Wizards of the Coast. You can do other things.
Yeah, like play Baldur's Gate, right?
Yep.
Everyone have a wonderful
loophole.
month. Yeah, that's the loophole. Everyone
Get
have a
outta
wonderful
here.
month. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh boy.
Bye.
Oh, right, I gotta hit end record.